Developing now, Conway is sharing plans to add more roundabouts. Just ahead, learn why and how they could keep traffic flowing. And more people are preparing to travel this Labor Day. In minutes, we share what's fueling the need to get up and about. Plus, new changes are ahead for the Big Ten Conference. Later in the show, what schools are joining and where you can watch. THV 11 at noon starts now. Well, heading into this afternoon, two high schools are getting ready to face off in one of the biggest football matchups. As you see here, THV 11 is bringing you Salt Bowl coverage all day long. Tonight is the 50-year milestone of the Benton Panthers taking on the Bryan Hornets. A few reminders before tonight's game. Kickoff starts at 7:30. If you need tickets, you'll need to buy them online. A clear bag policy will be in effect, and security is being heavily enforced this year with a zero tolerance policy for misconduct. Now, outside the stadium, there's going to be a heavy presence of law enforcement also patrolling the streets. Heading into the big weekend, State Police is continuing their Drive Sober campaign. Let this be a reminder to avoid drinking before getting behind the wheel or risk the consequences of dealing with local and state police. Now, that same warning goes for people on the water. You can be arrested if you're caught operating a boat under the influence. This was the case for over 20 people during the 4th of July. Don't make the same mistakes because a fun trip can go bad in a blink of an eye.
If for some reason you can't keep the party on the shore, have a designated driver operating that boat. Have a sober driver on that boat so you can still have fun and be safe. Officials say again, they know there's plenty of reason to have fun this weekend, but they want you to stay safe and think twice before making decisions. All right, well, a big weekend, and it's been quiet.
It has been quiet. We've been very lucky that most of the activity has stayed away until either after the game was over, which was the case last night at War Memorial.
I will say yes, and I remember raindrops touching me a little bit. I said, please no, please no.
Listen, I was at home checking that radar I was so nervous. I knew it was going to be close, but it waited. Mother Nature waited, and today we may get a little break as well. Taking a look at our radar, we love these clouds that are out there right now because it's hampering all of the storm activity. Now, we may see some rain showers, but that's okay. We can play in rain showers. That's not a big deal. Central Arkansas starting to see just a few little very light showers, so I'm not worried about these really affecting anything for today. Could see a little rumble of thunder early afternoon, but as we're heading into the evening, it looks like we're starting to clear out for that convective activity, which is good news, and rain showers pushing back into the metro around 9-10 o'clock tonight. But those clouds, we need them. That is certainly something that's going to help this situation. Now, looking at this football forecast for the Salt Bowl, we are looking again for the possibility of those scattered showers and an isolated thunderstorm. Looks like they're staying away, but the possibility is certainly there. It would be a very stray pop-up shower. But as the evening progresses, we're going to be in the 70s probably by the end of the game. So overall, not too bad. We're just going to keep positive and keep thinking good. And we're going to take another look at this forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes.
In one of our most viewed stories online, a woman is dead after being shot by a deputy near Glenwood. According to information sent to our newsroom, the Pike County Sheriff's Office were tipped off about a woman having a knife. After arriving to the scene, a deputy apparently asked Jennifer Provence to put down the knife. Reportedly, she failed to do so, and that's when a deputy allegedly shot and killed her. We don't know if she's charged at the deputy first, but state police is investigating, and we're working to find out more information. New this afternoon, we're learning more on the punishment two Crawford County deputies could face after being caught on camera violently beating a man. We've been following this story since it happened 2 years ago. The two deputies you see are Levy White and Zachary King. The third person is Mulberry, a Mulberry officer, Dale Riddle, who was later reinstated. The person they're on top of is Randall Worcester. White and King both have entered a guilty plea for excessive force. In a letter sent to the judge overseeing the case, the U.S. Attorney's Office is recommending prison terms for the two. The office is also asking for White to serve over 8 years in prison. According to the U.S. Attorney, it's due to him boasting about the beating to the other officers, while it's being recommended that King only serve 1 year prison sentence. Both will stand before a judge in October. Well, Well, turning now to a crime alert in Little Rock, where a man is dead after being shot yesterday afternoon. According to social media post, LRPD found him suffering from gunshot wounds near 10th and Main Street. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. Right now, we still don't know his identity, but the investigation remains ongoing. We're also learning more on the person caught in North Little Rock after stealing a bus. According to state troopers, Elvin Richard led them on a chase down I-40 on a motor coach bus. It wasn't until troopers shot out the bus tires when they were able to catch him. Richard is now being held on a number of charges. And just yesterday, 24 people stood before a federal court connected to a string of pharmacy thefts. That list of people adds to the already 18 people arrested for the same thing last year. We've learned that the operation spanned from just 20 pharmacies in Arkansas to over 200 across 30 different states. The U.S. Attorney says all 42 of them are from Houston, Texas. They're all now indicted for stealing thousands of drugs to sell on the streets of their hometown.
In the early morning hours, they would shatter glass at pharmacy locations, low crawl on the floor to evade motion detectors, and systematically remove dangerous opioid, benzodiazepines, promethazine with codeine, and other scheduled medication from the pharmacy shelves.
Ross says they will continue working to catch people committing these types of crimes. The city of Conway has quite the love for roundabouts, and we're learning they're planning to add even more. Our team spoke with Conway Mayor and discovered there's already 35 roundabouts in the city. That number will increase with time as the city says construction is underway to put more throughout the city. Now, the reason is due to how well they regulate traffic.
Because of the curvature of the road, you naturally slow down. If you do happen to get hit possibly by the car to your left in a roundabout, it's going to be a side swipe type of situation versus a head-on.
Mayor Burt Castleberry says the people of Conway like it, so they won't stop anytime soon. And a little further northwest, students at the University of Arkansas can expect more from its McMillian Innovation Studio. The CEO of Walmart gifted $1 million to help the school expand. The hub focuses on developing innovative ideas, and thanks to the money, it will now expand to 2 floors, giving students additional space for work. Well, just hours ago, our team learned a federal judge has blocked a recent ban on electronic signatures. Earlier this week, the Legislative Council approved only allowing physical signatures for voter registration forms. Well, that decision now blocked as U.S. District Judge Timothy Brook says it violates the Civil Rights Act of 1964. And as that unfolds, the state's election commission is working to ease concerns over voting machines. 15 counties were randomly selected for an audit, and that data revealed 14 counties had 100% accuracy when using voting machines. Election officials say the reason for doing this is to ensure a transparent election system.
Very important for voters to trust the system, and this is a way for voters to learn that we do have accurate elections in Washington County and in the state of Arkansas, and that you can trust the results.
Now, the election commissioner director says Arkansas is among the top when it comes to using a secure system. And we're less than 70 days away from watching voters decide on who will lead the nation for the next 4 years. Natalie Brand shares how both presidential candidates are tackling key issues.
Let's be clear, my values have not changed.
In her first major interview as the Democratic presidential nominee, Vice President Kamala Harris was pressed on some of her policy shifts over the years, including signaling during the primary in 2019 she supported a ban on fracking.
No, and I made that clear on the debate stage in 2020, that I would not ban fracking. As vice president, I did not ban fracking. As president, I will not ban fracking.
It's an issue central to voters in battleground Pennsylvania, where former President Donald Trump holds a rally later today. The Republican ticket has also slammed Harris and President Biden for record crossings at the southern border last year. Harris was asked in the CNN interview about how her views there have changed.
I believe there should be consequence. We have laws that have to be followed and enforced that address and deal with people who cross our border illegally.
The Republican nominee is facing questions from conservative groups about his own evolving stances. In an NBC News interview, Trump suggested Florida's 6-week abortion ban is too restrictive.
I think the 6-week is too short. It has to be more time.
With Harris holding a sizable advantage among female voters, Trump appears to be looking for ways to cut into that lead. He made this announcement on Thursday.
Your government will pay for, or your insurance company will be mandated to pay for, all costs associated with IVF treatment.
Tonight, Trump speaks to the conservative group Moms for Liberty. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
From campaigning on the ground to focusing how she's getting there. After the break, we verify who's paying to get presidential candidates from point A to point B.
Friday night lights are on the minds of many Arkansans. We're going to talk about the rain are going to dampen the spirits. Coming up after the break, we'll have my full forecast.